Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome back to Awaken Your Authentic Self. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Let's be real, this conversation might hit home in ways you didn't expect, because it definitely has for me. Have you noticed how many relationships are shifting right now? It doesn't matter if it's between adult children and parents, parents and their grown kids, longtime friends, or even marriages. People everywhere are waking up, choosing themselves, choosing their peace. And sometimes that means walking away from relationships that once defined their whole world. And it's not just you. This is happening on a collective level. We are in the middle of a mass awakening, and that comes with some pretty big earthquakes in our relationship dynamics. If you felt it, a chair at the table that's suddenly empty, a conversation that used to feel easy now feeling like walking through glass, you are not alone. And you're not broken. You are awake. So today, I want us to sit together and really unpack why this is happening, how to navigate it with dignity, and how to love, even when love means release and moving forward without them. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're sitting at a dinner table. Not fancy, just homey. Warm, light, mismatched plates, the kind of table where you've gathered for years. There's comfort in it. But one evening, something changes. Someone you love pushes their chair back, not with anger, not with resentment, but because what's on the plate in front of them no longer nourishes their soul. They quietly just say, I need to make something different for myself. And suddenly the table shifts. Some people feel abandoned. Some feel confused. Others might get curious and even taste what's cooking in the other kitchen. But nothing goes back to how it was before. That's what's happening in our lives right now. Chairs are being pulled back from tables that once felt unshakable. This episode is for the ones who have pulled the chair back, the ones at the table watching someone else pull theirs, and the ones who are learning how to set a new place for themselves without shame. Know that you are not broken. You are not alone. You are just waking up. Here's the big picture. We are living through what spiritual teachers call a mass awakening. On a numerological level, yes, that's how you say it. Let's name it plainly. 2025 is a universal 9 year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. 9 is completion, harvest, and endings that make room. Energetically, it asks us to finish the chapters and release what no longer serves the highest expression of ourselves. It's a clearing out before the cycle begins again. And astrologically, everything is supporting this. Astrologically, without getting lost in birth charts, the collective cosmic weather has been emphasizing transformation. Think deep inner reworkings, liberation, a push to break free of old patterns, and a dissolving of illusions. The heart has to face truth. The sky has been pushing us to shed illusions, break free from the old roles, and liberate ourselves. So the result, what does that mean for relationships? The structures we built our relationships on, the scaffolding, roles, survival bargaining, those unspoken contracts, they're all being examined and often found wanting. Old identities are crumbling. People are waking up and thinking, do I want to keep living this way? If the answer is no, then recalibration begins. Things begin to shift. This isn't moralizing. It's energetic. When enough people wake up, the field shifts. Contracts, spoken and unspoken, fall away. Here's some things I've been noticing, and maybe you have too. People are setting boundaries they've never set before. A friend will stop answering at 2 a.m. A parent stops rescuing. People are protecting their energy. Conversations are either going really, really deep or staying painfully surface level with no in between. Or you bring up your purpose and your person laughs or shuts down. Discomfort there is definitely increasing. Caretaking roles are dissolving. The child who always leaned on mom or dad might suddenly say, I've got this. Or the parent might step back. Or adult children stop playing the emotional child. There's no more tolerance for gossip or drama, denial, or the same old complaint loops. Relationships that felt stuck for years are suddenly ending overnight. And the wildest part of all this, you can feel grief and relief at the same time. Both are normal. Both are sacred. These are the fingerprints of a deep cultural clearing. Now, why does this hurt so much? Endings in our culture are often seen as failure in a culture that worships continuity. We were taught loyalty equals love. It's actually the reason why I stayed in my first marriage for 20 years. So when a relationship ends because someone chose themselves, it triggers shame, abandonment, rejection, fear, relief, and grief, sometimes all at once. I had felt so stuck that I felt more relief at the ending of my marriage. I was breathing for the first time in years, and those around me were shocked at how I wouldn't or couldn't cry, especially the emotional being that I am. But the reality is his indiscretion freed my spirit. But I want you to hear this. Again, it's not a failure. It's evolution. Remember, the nervous system is involved. So when a loved one changes or leaves, your body registers threat. And your nervous system, that primal part of your brain, does not know it's evolution. It just feels unsafe. That is why your body might react with fear, anger, or sadness. And it's okay. You might replay scenes in your head. You might try to fix things or bargain. Sometimes you'll be surprised by this crazy rage. None of this makes you bad. It just makes you human. I want to give you a practical step-by-step map that you can use whether you are inside the shifting relationship or outside of it watching. I want you to walk away with tools that you can actually use. So the first thing you can do is a grounding. The first step in this process is a grounding checklist. You want to just slow your breath for 60 seconds. Inhale 4, hold for 1, exhale for 6, and repeat this 6 to 10 times. Feet on the floor, feel 3 points of contact. Place a hand on your heart and say, I am here. I am safe enough to feel. Then get clear and ask these 3 questions whenever you're tempted to react. One is, what do I actually want? Not what do they want? Not what you feel you should want. What do I want? The second is, what aligns with my integrity? Does this choice fit who I'm becoming? And the third is, who will I be after this? And envision yourself 6 months from now. Write the 3 answers as 1-sentence truths, and you keep those visible. Step 3 is assess the relationship. It's like a quick little triage. Is it healthy and changing? Foundational respect, right there. Conversation, you can have some normal conversation. It's possible. Is it patterned but repairable? There's love, but old roles dominate. Healing is possible with boundaries and maybe some therapy. Or is it toxic or abusive? Your safety's at risk. Prioritize exit and get professional support. If children, finances, or legal obligations are involved, slow down and bring in the appropriate professionals, whether that be a therapist, a mediator, or an attorney. Step 4, very important, when you must communicate. Communicate from alignment. For example, for an adult child to a parent, you can say, Mom, Dad, I love you. Lately, I've been feeling pulled in a new direction, and I need to do some things on my own. I want us to have a relationship that honors both of our needs. That might look different for a while. I'm open to connecting regularly in ways that feel respectful to both of us. For a parent to an adult child, I see you changing and I'm proud of you. It's scary for me. I want to support your growth, but I need help understanding what that support looks like. Can we agree to check in with curiosity and not with blame? For friends, I value our history. I'm also on a new path, and I need friendships that reflect that. I'm not ending us, I'm changing how I show up. If that's not possible, I'll step back with gratitude. For spouses or partners, this isn't about blame. I'm growing, and some of the things that used to work don't work anymore. I want to explore how we can either grow together or create space with love and care. Can we talk about what we both need right now? When you deliver those, just make sure that you do it with a steady calm. And then after that, you can set boundary templates. And what does a boundary template look like? A time boundary. A time boundary would be, I can't take calls after 9 p.m. But if it's urgent, please text me urgent. An emotional boundary. I will not engage when you yell. I will step away and return when we can speak calmly. A physical boundary. Please don't come over unannounced. Please give me a day's notice, whatever you feel comfortable with. Practice delivering boundaries with a neutral tone. You are not negotiating. You are stating a fact about your container. And remember, no is a complete sentence. Now, sometimes people, they're not going to meet you where you are. They just won't. They won't meet us where we are. Sometimes people just can't walk the path with you. That doesn't mean that you stop loving them. It means that you let them go without hurting yourself in the process. They might cling, they might rage, or they might simply close themselves off. In these cases, the brave, sacred work is letting go with love. That does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop hurting yourself to keep someone else from discomfort. A ritual that can assist with that release is write a letter. Everything you wish you had said, you put in that letter, and you don't have to send it. You then light a candle and read the letter aloud to the room as though you were speaking to the river. Then burn the paper safely or dissolve it in water as a symbol of release. And say, I release this story with gratitude for its lessons. You can do this as many times as you feel you need to. Ritual is not magic. It is just a container that helps the nervous system to recalibrate. All right. If it is safe for you right now, please close your eyes with me for a moment. Take a deep breath in and sigh it all out. You ready? Ooh, let's do that again. Inhale through your nose. Hold it for just a second and exhale slowly. Now, I want you to imagine the person whose energy you're ready to shift with. See them standing or sitting a few steps in front of you. Don't force the image. Just let whatever version of them comes to mind appear. Notice the golden thread that connects your heart to theirs. It has been there a long time. Maybe it feels light and loving. Maybe it feels heavy and tangled. Just notice it. Now, with your hand over your heart, whisper softly to yourself, I honor what we shared, and I am free to choose peace. As you breathe out, imagine that golden thread slowly dissolving into light. You're not cutting them off. You're simply releasing the tie that binds you in ways that no longer serve. And then bless them. In your mind, say, may you be peaceful. May I be peaceful. May we both be free. Take another deep breath in. Exhale fully. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. When I say that this has been a major reoccurring theme all across relationship types, for some, it is so painful to watch. But while others truly are inspiring. A neighbor recently shared how her dear friend left the family business to start a holistic practice. Her parents are feeling abandoned. She created a weekly business free check-in and set a boundary on unsolicited advice. Her parents are still feeling a little blindsided, but they're learning a new respect for the relationship. It's not a Hollywood ending. It has its little ruptures, but at least it became an honest relationship. I was speaking with someone recently who shared that her and her best friend, with decades of history, parted ways. It was like over 40 years. She had become sober and spiritual while her friend just kept partying and acting recklessly. She was finding the old dynamic unsafe, so she created gentle space. Right now, there is no communication between them. She's grateful for the relationship, but they both realize that now they're on both different. They're just different, and their friendship no longer serves them. An old friend recently mentioned that her husband of 25 years separated from her, just got up and left. He realized that as a couple, their trajectories diverged. She felt utter devastation. He feels the ability to breathe again. They did the couples therapy. They tried conscious uncoupling, and ultimately he just left. They both grieved, her more than him, and both of them currently are in the process of rebuilding their new lives. And as for myself, I was not spared this transitional loss. On Mother's Day this year, I had to release my own mother. What could have been a simple discussion 2 weeks prior, she took to a completely different place, screaming at the top of her lungs and the conversation dripping in disrespect. After that conversation, I took a moment to myself to reflect and decide how I was going to move forward with this. So on Mother's Day, I went to see her and talked to her about what had happened, to find out why the conversation had ended the way it did and how it made me feel. Well, those questions triggered her to some old belief that children should be seen and not heard, and once again began yelling at me that despite what had happened, my feelings were irrelevant, and because she was my mother, she was right, she deserved an apology, and she would not apologize to me. She just kept screaming, I don't have to apologize. I am the mother, and you are the child. When I asked her to please stop, I said, Mom, please just stop and listen to me. She just screamed at me to leave her home. I asked her, remember, words have power. She repeated her demand, this time even louder. And so I left. And we have not seen each other or spoken since. What was amusing to me about this was that immediately after, I was just shook and I cried at the hurt and disbelief. But when I tell you very soon after, like literally maybe just a few minutes later, I just felt this beautiful sense of peace, as though what had just transpired needed to transpire. She refuses to see me as the grown adult woman that I am, and I refuse to shrink myself to whatever safe version of me that she has. Now, these reflections that I shared are not prescriptive, but they are definitely some artful variations, because your life will look like yours. Now, here's the beautiful thing, Soul. All of this awareness is powerful, but awareness alone won't shift your relationships. It's like realizing that you've been carrying a heavy backpack your whole life. Great, you see it. But if you don't actually unzip it, pull things out and repack it, that awareness just sits there. And that is where the daily work comes in. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't do it once and say, well, that's it. I'm done for the rest of my life. No, it's a daily practice. It's maintenance. And just like dental hygiene keeps your smile healthy, energetic hygiene keeps your soul clear as you move through these relationship shifts. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need hours a day, and you don't need to climb a mountain to make it happen. What you need are small, grounded, repeatable practices that help your brain, body, and spirit rewire into this new way of being. So, I'm going to share with you some of the most powerful practical tools I've seen work. Not just in theory, not just in spiritual books, but in real life, in real relationships when the heart is aching and the mind is spinning. These are the kind of practices that meet you right where you are, whether you're grieving, setting boundaries, or just trying to get through one more awkward family dinner without losing your center. So here are just a few little practices you can start today. One of them, the first one is great. Micro boundary check-in. Once a day, ask yourself, what do I need right now? And honor one micro need. It's not that hard, a micro need. Then there's a pause protocol. When you're triggered, this one I know for a fact works. I use this one a lot. When you're triggered, just pause. Pause for 90 seconds. Breathe and check your body sensations before replying. 3 is a daily gratitude release. Name one thing you release every day and one thing that you claim. A weekly soul inventory. Asking yourself who in your life drains you, who centers you, and then you adjust your time accordingly. And finally, an accountability circle. This is 2 to 3 people that you can call when you need the courage to shift, and ask them to hold you and not to fix you. And for my journalers, I got to look out for you. Here's a few prompts you can try. What rhythms in my life feel like true nourishment? Which relationship patterns repeat? What part of me is still playing the old role? If I were free of the fear of loss, what would I choose? What does love look like when I remove obligation from it? I'll tell you, one of the hardest parts of shifting relationships isn't always the decision itself. Sometimes it's really just finding the words. How? How do you tell your mom that you can't keep playing the role she's always expected of you? How do you tell a friend you love them deeply, but you're just not walking the same path anymore? Words carry energy. They can wound or they can soothe. They can shut a door or they can leave it open with grace. And when we're in moments of separation or redefining a relationship, the language we choose becomes the bridge between the love that we feel and the boundary that we need to honor. Think of it this way. You might know in your heart that you are choosing peace, but if it comes out defensively or harshly, the other person only hears rejection. And if you soften it too much, you risk abandoning yourself to keep them comfortable. This is where the language becomes not just communication, but medicine. I want you to imagine your words as threads. Every phrase you speak is weaving either a rope that entangles both of you in old dynamics or a golden cord that gently unties while leaving dignity and compassion intact. That is the difference between separation that wounds and separation that heals. So, I'm going to share with you just a few phrases, some real practical, heart-centered ways of just speaking that can help you to hold your truth and your love at the same time. They're not scripts that you're going to recite robotically. They're just a few starting points that you can shape into your own voice, like little tuning forks that'll help your vibration of peace when everything inside of you feels all shaky. Because here's the truth. The way that we choose to speak our endings, our boundaries, our new beginnings, that language, it lingers. People may forget the exact words, but they will never forget how your words make them feel. And my prayer for you is that they feel the love, even if the path diverges. So you can use these when you just want to be honest and kind. I love you. I'm not willing to keep living this way we always have. Your reaction is valid. My choice is still mine. I can hear your pain. I cannot accept being mistreated. This is a season of endings for me. I want to say thank you for what we shared. I will hold care for you from a distance. Whatever it is that you want to say, practice them. Say them in a mirror and be ready for layered responses. Now, I'm going to flip this for a moment because sometimes you are not the one making the choice. Sometimes you're the one left standing out on the shore watching someone you love sail away. And let's be honest, that can sting in ways that nothing else does. You know that moment when the text comes or the conversation happens and suddenly the floor feels like it's fallen out from beneath you. You replay everything in your head wondering, what did I do wrong? What could I have said differently? What could I have been to make them stay? Your chest aches, your stomach twists, and the silence afterwards feels so much louder than any fight you had ever did. Here's the thing though. Being left doesn't mean that you are unlovable. And it does not mean that you failed. It means that person chose their path. And as painful as it is, you are being invited to choose yours too. When you're the one left, the work shifts. It's no longer about how to leave with love. It's about how to stay with yourself in the aftermath. How to grieve without losing your dignity. How to sit with the loneliness without believing the story that you are not enough. And maybe, most importantly, how to remember that endings, even the ones you did not choose, can still be holy blessings. I want to talk directly to that place in you that feels abandoned or rejected. I want to offer you tools, reframes, and reminders that help you stand back up, breathe again, and start to piece your heart back together in a way that is stronger, softer, and more radiant than before. Because you may not have chosen to be left, but you do get to choose what comes next. If someone leaves you, that is one of the deepest teachers. So please allow room for the full grief. Don't numb yourself. Don't triangulate healing through someone else. Use these steps instead. Breathe and ground. Create a safety plan if you feel destabilized. Call a friend or seek professional help. Sit with the grief. Label it. Move it through and with the body. Write a list of what you learned about yourself from this relationship and reinvest in boundaries and new containers. And that could look like classes or even community groups. Know this again, being left is not evidence of your worth or lack of it. It's only evidence of different paths. Sometimes we don't have the strength to do what even we know is in our best interest. So the divine intervenes on your behalf to show you your strength and guide you into your purpose without the distraction of what no longer serves you or your growth. Here's where the numerology and the soul work meet. A 9-year ask you to harvest lessons, distill wisdom, and release what no longer serves your growth with compassion. To move forward with love without someone is to integrate the good, forgive the harm if you can, and vow to be more awake moving forward. So, here's the final piece of this journey. Moving forward with love, even when the person isn't walking beside you anymore. This right here is the spiritual alchemy. It's the turning of pain into wisdom, grief into gratitude, endings into openings. Because the truth is, letting go isn't about absence. It's about transmutation. It's about deciding, do I carry this as a wound or do I carry it as a teaching? That's where love without possession, love without attachment, love without the need for the other person becomes alive. Think of it like fire. When you release someone, you can either let that fire scorch you with the bitterness and resentment, or you can let it warm you, light your path, and forge you into something stronger and clearer. The relationship doesn't disappear, it transforms. It becomes part of your medicine bag, part of your wisdom library, part of the soul notes that you will carry into every future connection. And here's what I've learned. Moving forward with love doesn't mean that you keep the door open for them to return. It doesn't mean that you pretend that nothing has changed. It means you choose to carry the essence of what was beautiful while letting go of the parts that no longer serve your highest good. It's honoring what they gave you, the laughter, the lessons, even the heartbreak, and saying, thank you. You are a chapter, not my whole story. This is the alchemy of relationships. This is how we become more whole, not less, through separation. I want to guide you through what it really looks like to walk forward without bitterness, without dragging ghosts, and without losing yourself. Because when you can master this, you are not just surviving and ending, you're stepping into a deeper, freer, more authentic version of you. A blessing practice. Once a week, silently send a blessing to someone you no longer engage with. Anyone, someone who did you harm, may you find peace. This is not, again, it's not for them. It is an unclenching, an energetic unclenching for you. We forgive to provide our soul peace. Try a sacred contract rewrite. Write the new agreement that you wish you had originally. And if you can't deliver it to them, deliver it to the universe. I will honor myself first. Also, you can try a service pivot. This is beautiful. You use the energy from relationship endings to serve others. Because even small acts of kindness realign you toward abundance. Spiritual maturity is not about never being hurt. We will all have a moment. It's about choosing evolution over reactivity. Moving forward with love doesn't always mean keeping the person. It means keeping the lesson, the gratitude, the expansion. It's blessing what was while releasing it without bitterness. That's what real spiritual maturity looks like. But please remember, if you are navigating messy separations with legal, financial, or custody stakes, please consult professionals. If the shifts trigger deep trauma, please find a therapist skilled in family systems and somatic therapy. So here we are, beautiful soul. We are in a clearing. Recognize that relationships are shifting. Some are ending, some are rebirthing. The air feels thin because the old smoke is leaving. That process is messy and blessed. And through it all, the invitation is the same. Choose yourself, to choose your peace, and to choose love, even when love looks like letting go. If you are choosing yourself, breathe. If you are losing someone, grieve loudly and gently. If you are witnessing someone leave, hold them with soft eyes and not sharp words. You are not abandoning love by choosing yourself. You are making love real by refusing to pretend anymore. This is a harvest year. Let your harvest be wisdom, boundaries, and a heart capable of deep, sovereign compassion. And hey, before I let you go, if you've been loving these conversations, you won't want to miss what's coming up on the High Priestess Energy Portal for the week of October 12th. The cards that came through are powerful and the guidance is deeply aligned with everything we've been talking about today. So make sure you're tuned in. It's going to be a potent week of insight and awakening. Join me on Supercast. The link is posted in the show's description. Please share this episode with someone who needs permission to pull their chair back. Subscribe, leave a review, and remember, you are never wrong for choosing yourself. You are never wrong for walking in peace. I love you. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you here next week.